In 1906, the world's navies were proud, powerful, projecting their influence across the globe and seemingly invincible, the ultimate symbols of national strength and technological prowess. But then HMS Dreadnought arrived on the scene and changed everything overnight, ushering in a new era of naval warfare. In a Portsmouth dockyard, a revolution was quietly taking shape, a transformation that would ripple across the world's oceans. It was a ship that would not only surpass existing battleships, but would, in effect, make every other battleship instantly obsolete. HMS Dreadnought wasn't just a minor upgrade or an incremental improvement. It was a total reset, a complete paradigm shift in naval design and strategy. Previous battleships juggled mixed-caliber guns, a confusing array of different sizes and ranges, making accurate targeting a nightmare, a complex calculation that often resulted in wasted shots. Admiral Jackie Fisher's team boldly broke the mold, challenging conventional wisdom and embracing radical innovation. They armed Dreadnought with 10 uniform 12-inch guns, a main battery of unprecedented power and uniformity, every salvo a devastating and precise hammer blow that could cripple any opponent. Powered by revolutionary steam turbines, Dreadnought was faster and more agile than any rival, a crucial advantage in naval combat. It was able to choose its battles, dictate the terms of engagement, or escape them entirely, if necessary. The result? A ship that could outrun any vessel it couldn't outgun in a direct confrontation, and effortlessly outgun anything it couldn't outrun, making it the apex predator of the seas. The world's navies suddenly faced obsolescence. Their once mighty fleets now seemed like relics of a bygone era. Dreadnought instantly became the new standard, the benchmark for naval power, and the arms race began in earnest. Britain's single revolutionary ship forced every nation with naval aspirations to start over, to rethink their entire approach to naval warfare. It ignited a global scramble for naval supremacy, a frantic competition to build the biggest and most powerful dreadnoughts. The age of the battleship had truly begun, an era of massive steel behemoths dominating the world's oceans. But it was Dreadnought, the original, that set the rules, defining the very nature of naval power for decades to come. The world would never look at warships the same way again. The Dreadnought had ushered in a new era, forever changing the face of naval warfare. HMS Dreadnought's launch triggered a global arms race, a feverish competition that would reshape naval power forever. Naval power now meant dreadnoughts and bigger guns, rendering pre-dreadnought battleships obsolete almost overnight. The race was on to build the most formidable fleet. Britain's two-power standard aimed to outpace every rival, ensuring its navy was larger than the next two largest combined. But Germany, under Kaiser Wilhelm II, was determined to catch up, fueled by ambitions of imperial grandeur and naval dominance. Shipyards in both nations churned out ever larger, more powerful battleships, each one a symbol of national pride and military might. Each new class a direct answer to the last, pushing the boundaries of naval technology and engineering. The public demanded more ships, captivated by the spectacle of naval power and the promise of national security. And naval doctrine focused on the decisive fleet battle, a grand clash of steel and fire that would determine the fate of empires. Victory through overwhelming firepower and armor, a relentless barrage designed to cripple the enemy and secure naval supremacy. But these steel giants were expensive, complex, and logistically demanding, requiring vast resources and intricate support networks. Their very value made admirals cautious, acutely aware of the potential consequences of losing such a vital asset. Too precious to risk except in all-out war, these behemoths became symbols of power that were rarely unleashed. The result? Fleets grew, becoming ever more imposing displays of national strength, but so did hesitation to use them, creating a paradox where the most powerful weapons were also the most carefully guarded. Battleships became strategic chess pieces, moved across the global stage to influence diplomacy and project power. Often too valuable to actually fight, they represented a deterrent as much as an offensive capability. The arms race was a contest of industry, a test of each nation's ability to produce the most advanced and powerful warships, and prestige, but also of fear, the dread of falling behind and losing one's place on the world stage. No one wanted to lose their crown jewel, the symbol of their naval might and national pride. The world's navies were locked in a cycle of escalation, each new ship prompting a response from its rivals. With no end in sight, the naval arms race threatened to consume vast resources and ultimately to plunge the world into war. Dreadnoughts ruled the waves, but new threats emerged from below and above. Submarines, once crude, now posed a deadly asymmetric danger. One torpedo could sink a battleship. The real shock came from the air. Billy Mitchell's bombers sank the unsinkable Ostfriesland, proving aircraft could destroy battleships. Naval tradition resisted, clinging to big guns and armor. But the world was moving to three-dimensional warfare. Anti-aircraft guns and new armor were only stopgaps. The decisive blow came in World War II. Japanese bombers sank HMS Prince of Wales and Repulse. No enemy ships involved. Pearl Harbor confirmed it. Air power could cripple entire fleets in minutes. The battleship's reign was over. The new king of the seas would fly, not float. The age of the aircraft carrier had arrived. The world's navies would never fight the same way again. The battleship, once the ultimate weapon, was now a relic. The future belonged to those who ruled the skies. With battleships dethroned, aircraft carriers became the new capital ships, projecting power far beyond the horizon. Carrier aircraft could strike hundreds of miles away, transforming naval combat into a game of range and surprise. The Battle of the Coral Sea proved it. Fleets fought without ever seeing each other. Radar revolutionized detection, giving fleets early warning and turning the ocean into a transparent battlefield. Ships bristled with radar-guided anti-aircraft guns and proximity-fused shells, creating deadly defensive screens. Carrier task forces emerged, balanced groups of ships, each with a specific defensive role. Mass production and modular construction allowed navies to build these fleets at unprecedented speed. The carrier era was defined by information, coordination, and industrial might. The decisive battle was now fought by aircraft, electronics, and teamwork. The carrier was the new symbol of naval power. The world's oceans had a new master. After World War II, the Cold War brought two revolutions: guided missiles and nuclear power. Missiles made naval guns obsolete. Why risk close combat when you could strike from over the horizon? Nuclear propulsion, pioneered by USS Nautilus, let submarines stay submerged for months, creating the ultimate stealth weapon. Ballistic missile submarines became the backbone of nuclear deterrence, able to strike from anywhere. The Cold War at sea was a silent, deadly game of cat and mouse between US and Soviet subs. Surface ships specialized. Destroyers and frigates focused on anti-submarine or anti-air roles, each a vital part of the fleet. Navies became flexible teams, not just collections of big ships. The ocean depths became the new front line. The future of naval warfare was stealth, specialization, and constant innovation. The silent hunters had changed the rules forever. See, the advent of the microprocessor fundamentally transformed warships, ushering in an era of unprecedented technological advancement. They evolved into floating data centers, processing vast amounts of information in real time. The US Navy's Aegis system, a revolutionary development, was first deployed on Ticonderoga-class cruisers, marking a paradigm shift in naval warfare. It integrated radar, command, and weapons into a seamless network, creating a unified and highly responsive defense system. Aegis could track and engage over 100 targets simultaneously, providing unparalleled situational awareness and defensive capabilities. This allowed for the automation of defense against missile swarms, a critical advantage in modern naval combat. Data links enabled ships to share radar pictures and other vital information instantaneously, enhancing coordination and response times. This created a unified battlefield view, providing a comprehensive understanding of the operational environment. Incredibly, one ship could now fire at a target tracked by another, extending engagement ranges and improving accuracy. Naval power now meant network power, the ability to collect, process, and disseminate information effectively. The fleet that shared information fastest and most efficiently held a decisive advantage, and ultimately won. Stealth became the next frontier in naval technology, driven by the need to evade increasingly sophisticated detection systems. Ships were meticulously shaped and coated with radar-absorbing materials to deflect radar waves, while also masking heat and electronic signatures. The ultimate goal was to be invisible to enemy sensors, rendering the ship undetectable and invulnerable. This was crucial for surviving in a world increasingly dominated by missiles and drones, which posed a significant threat to naval assets. The digital revolution fundamentally reshaped naval warfare, making navies smarter, faster, and deadlier than ever before. The battle was now network versus network, a complex interplay of information and technology, not just ship versus ship, in direct confrontation. The future belonged to those who could see first, gaining a crucial advantage in targeting and defense, and stay hidden longest, avoiding detection and attack. War at sea had become a contest of data, a strategic game of information dominance, not just a raw display of firepower. The digital age had irrevocably arrived on the waves, transforming naval warfare forever. US Zumwalt DDG-1000 is the ultimate stealth warship. Its radical design makes it nearly invisible to radar. Despite its size, Zumwalt appears as a fishing boat on enemy screens, thanks to its tumble-home hull and angular superstructure. It's a floating power plant ready for future weapons like railguns and lasers. Automation slashed crew size, but complexity brought massive cost overruns. Only 3 Zumwalts were built, and its advanced guns became unusable when ammunition costs soared. Zumwalt is a cautionary tale. Innovation brings risk, and unproven tech can outpace practical needs. Yet its stealth, power, and automation point to the future of warship design. Zumwalt is a ghost ship pioneering, but still searching for its true role. The lesson revolution is never easy, but it shapes what comes next. The future of the fleet will build on Zumwalt's bold experiments. The next revolution is autonomy AI, and unmanned ships are reshaping the fleet. The US Navy's Sea Hunter can patrol for months, hunting submarines without a single sailor aboard. Removing crews means smaller, cheaper, more numerous ships. Losses are acceptable and swarms become possible. AI reacts faster than humans, crucial against hypersonic threats. Future command systems will use AI to analyze data, spot threats, and coordinate attacks across air, sea, and undersea domains. The human-AI partnership will define the next era AI as co-pilot, not overlord. But autonomy brings new challenges, distinguishing friend from foe, ethical dilemmas, and vulnerability to cyber attacks. The battle for control of the electromagnetic spectrum is as important as the battle at sea. Navies must defend their networks as fiercely as their ships. The autonomous fleet is coming faster, smarter, and more complex than ever. The rules of naval warfare are being rewritten in code. Technology keeps pushing naval warfare into new realms, faster, deadlier, and more complex. Hypersonic missiles threaten even the most advanced fleets, compressing reaction times to seconds. Stealth now means managing radar, heat sound, and electronic signatures, creating ghost fleets that slip past enemy sensors. The future is distributed power spread across networks of crewed and unmanned ships, subs, and drones. Swarms of autonomous vehicles will scout, strike, and deceive, while large ships coordinate from the shadows. The Navy that masters this networked, multi-domain fight will rule the seas. From Dreadnought's thunder to the silent pulse of AI, warships have always chased the next advantage. The contest of innovation never ends. As AI and autonomy redefine the oceans, control of the seas remains the key to global power. The ships may vanish from sight, but their impact on history is more visible than ever.